How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando. We are live Monday, June the 20th, 8:38 p.m. Thank you so much for being live with us today. We have a lot to talk about. Orlando City has they won Houston. They beat Houston 2-1 It was uh, it was um it was a game that Orlando started very well. Started very well. I believe they dominated most of the instances in the first half, and then the last 30 minutes, I'll say, of the game, Orlando again was. I felt like it was, they were cornered a little bit, right? Houston made the right changes in the second half. I think Darwin Quintero is a very dynamic player, and obviously he made a difference. And we'll talk about that and more. Transfer window news. We have Gaston Gonzalez. It's in Orlando. We have an update on that. We also will talk about the Pride, OCB, several other news coming up. Also, Orlando and why we didn't get the World Cup bid. We'll talk about that as well. But before we start, I want to encourage everybody. We are literally 5 subs away to get to 400 subs. We're 5 subs away. So if you guys know anybody, I think tonight, in this episode, we can reach that mark of 400 subs. So help us out. Help your fellow Purple community out. Hit the subscribe button. Then click on the notification bell for all notifications. We're live also on Facebook and on Twitter at LPO_podcast. And with me, it's Dave and Paola. How you doing, Dave?
Doing good, Luis. Thank you for the introduction. It's been a rough week for me. Thought I just had a sinus infection. Unfortunately, I contracted COVID, which ruined my weekend plans of meeting with my friend Callum, who came from England to enjoy the game with me. But he was able to go and attend. And please ignore that guy over there in the back. And he had a great time. He was telling me that he was very impressed with the quality of football here in the United States. So hopefully we'll be able to come together for the game on the 29th. Aside from that, my friend Kevin Rees from Orlando City, UK, was here at the stadium. I was able to give him my own used tickets. Again, sadly, I was unable to meet with them. And what seems to be a theme with me and Taylor, our friend Taylor Williams from Orlando City, UK, who every year that he's here, something happens where we can never meet. So Taylor, I'm glad that first, congratulations on your nuptials. You're on your he's in his honeymoon, and obviously was greeted with a victory in Orlando. And my friend, maybe when I go to Stevenage, we can catch up. Hopefully that will be the case. And Luis, we had a victory, and we have plenty of football to talk about tonight. So with that, I pass the microphone to Paola.
Hi guys, happy Monday. Excited to be back with y'all. I had the opportunity to go with my dad to the game on Saturday, and I'm gonna bring him more often to the games. He was the lucky charm. He was super excited. He mentioned that I already went with him to a Orlando Magic game, and then he was comparing. He was like, "Oh, I like this one more better," so that was good news. But like Luis said, we had that momentum in the first half, 30 minutes after it got a little bit choppy. But we can talk about that later. But I was super excited that I had the opportunity to spend like a pre Father's Day with my dad and myself on the game. And I asked him, "Would you like to go again?" And he's like, "Of course." So I'm excited to see if I can bring my dad for more games. So that was my giveaway.
Sure. I'm so happy to hear that you were able to spend the time with your father. I also want to say Happy Father's Day to everybody that obviously the Dave and everybody else that we were not able to say Happy Father's Day. Either way, it was an eventful game against Houston yesterday. No, Saturday. I will have to say I was very impressed of the play and the level of high press and intensity Orlando came out in the first half. And then, it just kept dwindling down as time went on. And Houston's momentum started growing in the second half. Personally, I think it's a win. A win's a win. I'll take it. I'll take it without a doubt. I think the way Orlando started this game was, you know, the lineup. This lineup needs to be seen again for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. My first impressions when I saw this lineup was Kyle Smith as a center back. You know, that's the first thing I thought. I thought, wow, great. He actually did not disappoint. Cesar Araujo was solid. Junior Urso as well. But I want to talk about these three right here. These three right here today, they worked. I mean, on Saturday they worked. I mean, they were, in my opinion, very well. They were meshing very well. And obviously, who benefited out of them three meshing very well? Erjan Kara. He's there to score goals, and he's becoming hot, as we were saying in previous episodes. He's becoming hot. Now, the second goal of Erjan Kara, he even laughed and said, I'll take the goal because it hit me, but it's 99.9% Mauricio Pereira's goal, right? I'm just fortunate to have a brace and keep scoring goals as a striker who doesn't want to score goals, right? But I'm very impressed with Jake Mulroney, and he has adapted so fast to Pareja's system. He's been very well in that left flank. It was a breath of fresh air of having Benji as a starter. I like Benji coming as a sub with a lot of stamina and a lot of punch, right? 1-2 punch. And then you have Mulroney in the first half. He actually did not disappoint at all whatsoever. Mauricio Pereira, I mean, he's been the last, I'll say, 3 or 4 Orlando games playing in a consistent level. And personally, I think he played a phenomenal game today. I think without our number 10, we would have not gotten those 2 goals. And, it is due to him. And then Facundo Torres, I still see that he's, in some games, he's shining bright like a diamond. I want to say that just like the Rihanna song. But on other games, like today, for example, I've seen them everywhere on the pitch, completely free. But no one passes the ball to him. Like I've noticed, like, Araujo, Urso, and Mauricio, they've tried to associate, but Mulroney and him, it was weird. Like there was not, he was waiting for the ball. Hey, pass me the ball. He was even going like this to, a bunch of times. I could count it maybe 3 or 4 times, and no one will pass him the ball. So I think it's part of adapting, right, to the league. Hopefully, we see him score in the next game. We play against Cincinnati. I think the game against Cincinnati is a must win now because after Cincinnati did to us at home, right? So, Dave, what are your thoughts about for starters of this game against Houston Dynamo?
Well, first of all, Jake Mulroney, definitely a surprise. As I have mentioned before, he played for Stevenage in England for 6 games on loan, and I have plenty of friends back in the UK that remember him fondly. Um, he scored a goal for Stevenage. He was very dangerous, and at the time, a lot of people expected him to be a English Championship or Premiership player. Fortunately, things did not work out for him, and he ended up in the Scottish Premiership, which is, I know a lot of people like to crap on that league, but it's a very demanding league, and the fact that we have this player is by sheer accident. Obviously, Sylvester Van der Water gets hurt. We need a replacement right away, and Mulroney wanted out of Atlanta. There's a lot of problems in Atlanta right now. Their place on the table shows why. and he had no problems coming here, and his dynamic, explosive energy, his field awareness. He's a complete total footballer, in my opinion. He's somebody that has had to work his way up from Irish football, English football, Scottish football. So this is somebody that is used to the physicality of leagues, somebody that is used to high skill, and that's the type of player that we need right now. I don't think that unfortunately we had we had that in that position in a long time. Mauricio Pereira, in my opinion, had a great game. Facundo Torres finding his place, and Urchin Kara getting hot. The boys played on Wednesday in New England, rescuing a vital point against a very, very good New England team. And in his for everybody that knows, Gillette Stadium is a very, very hard place to win. We discussed this
Sure.
last week. We said it's a very big surface. It's turf, and the boys managed to get that, and then to come home and make it a 4 point week. I have to say that I'm more than satisfied. A team like this, it's collecting points. It's getting better and better, and hopefully, this coming up Friday, we'll see the better version of them. Paola?
Hola.
Oh, I will agree on everything that David and Lee said. Kyle Smith, let's talk about him, right? Because he is like our super utility guy. Doesn't disappoint us. He has stepped up on where we need him, even if in the on the left, on the right, and now in the center. So kudos for him. He bleeds purple for sure. Talking about Jake, I love what I'm seeing about him. He should have scored like in the first 20 minutes of the game. So I like that he's playing more towards the middle sometimes, and him and Faku changes, right? They go to left and to the right sometimes, and I think that's a strategy from Pareja. I don't know if he's confusing. I don't know, right? If he's confusing the other players' formation, but I have observed that on those two that they were like jumping in between themselves. About Pereira, if like phenomenal game for him, and I was kind of like Kara said, like 99.9% that was his goal, and I was kind of sad that it wasn't him like his goal, but at the end of the day we won the game, and that's the importance of the beauty of this game, right? um I'm excited of what I'm seeing about Kara, and I wish that Facu can score because, like Luis said, he has been since he got here. He has been in pocket of spaces by himself, and like the score from Pereira. He was by himself in front of the goal. He was like pointing it, like, "Hey, give me the ball." But at the end of the day, we got that goal. So I like the connections that the team in front is doing. So more to come from Jake.
Yeah, certainly. I'm going to say something. I personally believe that neither Mulroney, Pereira, and Torres should move out of the starting lineup, whatsoever. I think we found three players that can certainly work together and try to link up. And I think we need that link up play to feed Urgent Cara. I mean, Orlando paid over, I think, 13 million for Urgent Cara. So, I mean, this is money that's invested on a player that scored 14 goals in the Austrian league. It needs to deliver, right? And so, right now that he's hot and the three right there in the middle are working, I wouldn't change that. Now, I like the fact that Pareja was able to make the right changes at the right time. And obviously, if he knows that Mulroney is maybe right now going to play maybe 70 minutes, good. We have Andres Perea, or you switch him. If you want to have more presence in the mid, you put Andres Perea on there. You can, and see your options right there. That you can have Alexandre Pato, which is what he did. He took Cara out, We put Alexandre Pato in, and then Pato had a couple of chances as well. Unfortunately, he was unlucky. But I like those three personally, and this is how Orlando scored both goals. The link up play between Mulroney, Pereira, Torres, and then Kara, right? I think we need to keep that. And then another thing I'm going to say is um, we definitely missed our center backs. And again, I want to press this need. Jansen now is going to miss the next game. Jansen got a yellow card and for dissent, and now he'll miss a another game, an important game in my opinion against Cincinnati, because we have to win that after they paint in our faces orange. We need to definitely clean the mess up, and we need our starting, at least our starting center back duo, because Antonio Carlos is down, which should be Rodrigo Schlegel and Robin Jansen. I want to stress not to knock anything on Robin, but I think we need to watch out for those yellow cards. I mean, he already got 8 yellow cards in one season, and so far this season, 8 yellow cards. So we need our starting core lineup, right? I mean, Kyle, he's definitely our ace of spades, right? He can definitely play any position we want him to play, but you're also doing a disservice on Kyle when you have a player like Darwin Quintero, right? A player of that level going through his side, he's going to be a menace, and he's already tired. How are you going to contain a caliber, I will say, a South American talent, because he's a South American talent. I mean, he played in a very competitive league, which is a Colombian league, in a very important club. So how do you handle, right? How do you put that burden into Kyle? So you need to have your starting center back duo that's used to that type of pressure. Now, the only thing that worked for Houston was to wait for Orlando. Essentially, in my opinion, I think Houston, I don't know what Hector Herrera is going to do. He started playing July the 2nd. I don't see Hector Herrera fixing this Houston team at all. I mean, he barely did it in Atletico Madrid. How's he going to do it in Houston, right? And and then now pairing him up with Darwin Quintero, which I believe he should have started the game. I think it would have been, then you can see a partnership between them two, right? But I mean, it is a team that is in rebuild mode for sure. I can definitely tell. And they waited for Orlando. They had a lot of chances in the second half, and those are, a better team could have tied the game for us. I see it that way. A better team. So let's say it would have been New England, right? I believe New England would have tied this game for against Orlando at Exploria, and that would have been horrible, because the people that are in the stands, they expect obviously for Orlando to win, right? I mean, I think it doesn't matter for what the score is, but they want to win. After seeing OCB getting 6, after seeing Pride getting, you know what I mean? Like, you want Orlando City to win, and a better, so those things we need to take them into consideration on the net games coming up, because those 2 games coming up, I think, are very important. Orlando will cement themselves right on top 4 if they beat Cincinnati for sure. They will cement themselves in top 4 comfortably, and then obviously we have a quarterfinal to play, right, Dave? What are your thoughts?
No, for sure, Luis. This Friday going to Cincinnati, we have to win. We should have won that game when they came to town. Don't know what happened that night, but like our friend Sergio says all the time, your bad night might be the opponent's best night. Uh to be honest with you, I was a little disappointed on the second half. Darwin Quintero, we just did not had an answer for him. Did not had an answer for him. What a player!
Uh,
You have to um, You have to be gracious to the opponent when they're talented. I'm not. I'm not that type of fan that all the people in purple are great, everybody else sucks. That's it's a stupid mentality. Darwin Quintero is a disciplined, skillful, smart player, that is gonna get a lot of points for Houston, and as he gets along in the season, most likely he's gonna drag that carcass to playoffs. He we just People forget he hit the woodwork on a free kick. That ball would have gone in, then probably we're talking about a different game. Um, and I understand. And to go back to the Robin, let's go back to the center back situation. I think Robin is a great footballer, and just like Robin, I have that problem. I run my mouth because I'm a prideful person, and I don't like when people have get the best out of me. I have to let them know, guess what, buddy, I got you in check. But sometimes you gotta learn when to zip it for the greater good. Now we're without his services, so now we're gonna have again a Kyle Smith and Rodrigo Schlegel situation. While Rodrigo Schlegel is a very serviceable player and a very good one, Rodrigo works best when he's anchored by Antonio Carlos or Robin Jansen, because those are the guys that sort of curtail his craziness at times. He's too eager at times. And I'm afraid that having Kyle Smith, who is a great player, this is not his natural position, although he played it in college. That's the reason why he's there. And Kyle Smith, kudos to him. This is the type of he's a utility player. He's a journeyman player. Wherever you put him, he does the best. I don't think we had a player like that since the USL days, where we had a few players that basically served that role, like our old captain Rob Valentino, who right now is an assistant in Atlanta. We in the MLS era, we never had a player that we could plug and play, and but that's not his position. I mean, personally, what I would like to see, Robin Jansen, Antonio Carlos. Obviously, we can't have that right now, but half of Robin's yellows have been descent. Excuse me. This is basically talking back to the ref, and in situations like this, what do we win? What do we win? Okay, so you told the ref, hey, go and shove that car wherever the sun doesn't shine, but now you're affected our result next week. So I just don't see. um y a la persona que está en los comentarios, te vamos a borrar. Estúpido.
Hey, don't
Acting like an imbecile.
no, but don't let it get to you. It's come
No,
down,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, I'm sorry that
No, it's
I'm a serious person, and I'm not gonna let some punk
no,
like that.
just think about what you got.
So to finish my statement, and allow Paola the opportunity. So we have to concentrate on the greater good of the club, and running our mouths. It's not doing it. It's not doing it, my friends. If with this I finish. If you look at Pedro Galese, who had the opportunity to sit out these games, he said no. He just jumped on a private jet, went to directly to Boston, played on Wednesday, played on Friday, or play on Saturday. I'm sorry. That is the level of commitment that we need from our players to put the club above everything else. And like I said, Robin, as much as I like him, it's detrimental to have that attitude where we're running our mouths and we're getting yellow cards that at the end affect the greater good of the club. So for that, I would like for him to have a come to Jesus moment, and for that person to say, hey, maybe I need to, shut up sometimes because I'm affecting the collective.
Sure. I have to say something because I definitely um, talked to Joan Moutinho in the post press conference. You guys can find the footage right on our YouTube channel. It's like right there. Um, We talked to Urgent Car as well. I want to say hello to Mike and the people from the mainland today that were with me at the press conference. Um, Certainly, what Moutinho said was something like just what Dave described. Galese just came from um, pretty much losing the game of his life, right? It was an opportunity for him to be a two-time world, to go to the World Cup twice, be probably one of the best keeper, probably the best keeper in Peru's history. Two-time World Cup keeper, goalkeeper for the national team, and unfortunately, Peru blew it. That's. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it just because I'm Peruvian. Peru blew it, completely blew it, and the players know it. The whole world knows it. Peru knows it. You know, everyone knows it. And from being so demoralized without his wife, his kids, he said, you know what? I'm not going to waste time crying about it. I'm going to just focus on me and my club. And that's exactly what he did. He flew from Qatar to Boston. Joao Moutinho mentioned it. He had the chance to rest. He didn't. And it shows the type of level of players and type of leader he is right in the locker room. So I think, Gaston Gonzalez, for example, is going to be a newcomer. He's very lucky to have leaders like that. Somebody like Pato has played all over the world. Somebody like Pedro that can show you when you fail, you can get up and move on, right? You've had other players that have come up with tough injuries, like maybe Antonio Carlos when he comes back. So he's going to have so many heads to mentor this kid that he's a phenom on the left flank, right? I mean, what a boost Orlando's going to have when he comes back. But honestly, I'm saying this because it's very important. And I also talked to Oscar Pareja, and I'll give the mic to Dave. Oscar Pareja said, I asked him the question, what are you going to do at the U.S. Open Cup? Is the U.S. Open Cup the priority? Are we going to play with the A team, or are we going to have a mix of players? Because we have Cincinnati on the, this week, and then 5 days later, we have the U.S. Open Cup. What are we going to do? So he said, I have full trust in my squad, but obviously to us, the priority is the U.S. Open Cup. Pretty much is what he said. And, without cutting it any loose ends, he said that. So we should see Galese, we should see our starting squad against Nashville, because obviously the city of Orlando deserves silverware. Every single fan in those stands deserves silverware. And I think Orlando knows that. And I think that they're pointing to that. Not to say that they're going to not focus on Cincinnati, because he made it very clear to me. And you can see the footage, like I said, the video, it's on our YouTube channel. Check it out. He said, look, I want to do both. I think we have the team to do both tournaments. So I'm going to aim for both. But if you ask me, I think the U.S. Open Cup right now, obviously, is a high priority because of the cup, because of what we can win. So, let's definitely, he wants to go. He pretty much said, I want to go to another final. I took Orlando already to one final. I want to definitely go to another final and win the final, right? So I think a lot of good things are coming up, hopefully, and hopefully we see the A team against Nashville. Dave, you wanted to say something?
Well, something real quick because I believe we skipped Paola. The To go back to the situation with Open Cup, definitely, I can't stress enough how important this is. And to answer the question by our friend Eric Sanchez, what happens if Orlando City wins the U.S. Cup, a spot on the CONCACAF Championship? And yes, that is correct. It's going to be a spot on CONCACAF Championship. It's going to allow us the opportunity to take our brand international. $300,000, our name etched on a trophy that is the oldest football trophy here in the United States. Has a lot of prestige, a lot of history behind it. And not only that, it's the silverware. It's always a morale booster. You know, we haven't won anything since 2014. We haven't lifted a league-wide trophy since 2013. We have not won anything in the MLS era. And you know, while there's fans like myself and Luis that have seen this team win something, there's fans like Paola that all they know is heartache, pain, suffering, tears. And I think those fans deserve something.
Sure. Let's Paula, you have anything to add?
No, you guys cover all my my thoughts about the game. Um, I'm curious of what Oscar Pareja is gonna start on the back lineup. I don't know if Smith is gonna um start in that same position because I know that Montinho has played center back before. So I don't know if he's gonna switch up or he's gonna stick with Smith. I will say to stick with Smith in the center back, but like you said, Luis, should be the priority the Open Cup. It shouldn't like if we win, we win. That's a win-win in the Cincinnati game, but or we tied. But I think they need to focus on the Nashville game for now.
Sure. I definitely, I would like to see Taylor Williams. Believe it or not, I think people gave up too fast on Taylor Williams. He had a lot of hate. He's a young kid. I would like to see Taylor Williams and Rodrigo Schlegel, in my opinion, if you ask me. Um, uh, I mean, if you ask me, that's what I would like. I'm not the coach, and I think Kyle didn't disappoint at center back. But also, you put a player that is so dynamic like Darwin Quintero, like he struggled at a certain point, right? And it's not to knock him down or anything. I mean, any defender will struggle with him, but you just gotta have certain poise as a center back to handle players of that caliber. Like for example, Antonio Carlos, he would have definitely not even sweating. He would have definitely taken care of him for sure. And I think we cannot get these yellow cards. Like just like Dave said, we can't keep getting these yellow cards because we're getting to the part of the MLS portion. We're almost at halfway, and this is where every single point matters now. And the U.S. Open Cup too. So we're at four, I think 4 games, right? For glory, right? Four games for glory. I think 3 or 4 games. Uh,
If we win against Nashville, we're going to the semifinals.
yeah,
If
so
we
two
win that
games.
one, finals. So yeah, so I mean 3 games.
Yeah, 3 games. So 3 games to glory, guys. I mean, and Pareja knows this. Obviously, he wants to say he wants to do both. He wants to do excel in both. But he knows the priority is the U.S. Open Cup for sure. I can definitely tell by the way he was saying. Let's read some comments, guys, before we go to Paula. Matthew says Jensen does need to chill, getting yellows that he doesn't need to get. Really responsible on his part. Jim D, we need to quit playing 70 minutes. It seems after 70, it's just defending in the box and absorbing too much pressure. Wholeheartedly agree on that. Wholeheartedly agree. And a better team can, like, let's say we play Seattle Sounders. Like, they will. They will break that deadlock. That's all I'm saying. Like, I mean, not to knock them down, but they will break the deadlock. It doesn't matter if you put like 8 defenders and the 11 players start defending. They'll break the deadlock. Like there are teams that are just better than Houston, right? Let's go ahead and move on. Matthew says, anyone know when Antonio Carlos will be back? That's a good question. Dave, any
Well,
information on Antonio Carlos?
he is practicing with the first team. He's doing drills. I don't know how much physical contact he's getting. Personally, this is David Valentin, the individual talking. I have to say, I don't want to rush him. I really don't want to rush him.
Same
We have
here.
done that
Same here.
in years past. We have done that out of necessity. We'll remember how we rush these players and they get hurt right away. And now the recovery time is longer and longer and longer. I think if we can tread water with what we have right now, I'm okay with that. I understand we're not gonna be number one, right? So, and if pro referees would have done their job, we would be actually number one in the East. But that's a story for another day.
Excellent.
Personally, I don't want to rush him. I seen his Instagram. I heard people that have talked to him. The guy cannot wait to get back on the pitch because that's what winners do. That's what winners do. That's what champions want. You know, they want to be out there running and doing what their God given talent. We're very very fortunate to have this individual in our stable of players, and but I want him to come back stronger than ever, to finish strong, and so with that said, if as a betting man, I would probably say August is the month where we probably want to see him. July, if you look at the calendar, guys, 5 games in 4 weeks. If we're lucky enough to move past Nashville, there's gonna be a sixth game, so it's gonna be a very crowded field. And to build on what Luis said, we definitely need to bring Williams back into the equation. I personally think he's a very talented young man, and he has the skill to be a starter in this league. He has shown us, he has proven to us that he can do it. And I am a firm believer. We need to throw people sink or swim. If you're gonna be in this league, you have to. Not everything is gonna be spoon fed to you. Extraordinary moments call for ordinary men to step up to the plate.
Sure. And let's read one more comment. This is from a dear friend, says Sebastián Ashcalay Silva from Ladra el Fútbol. He always watches us every day at Ladra el Fútbol. So I want to say hello to Sebastián. It says, nice to see your second channel, Pineda. Orlando is a great city. Thank you so much, sir. Muchísimas gracias. Y nos vemos a las 10:30 de la noche. 10:30 de la noche. Un saludo, Sebastián. So let's see more comments. No, we don't have any more comments. But overall, out of 6 possible points, getting 4, I think we're getting somewhere. So I think that's great. I'll take that all day against New England and against Houston. I'll take that all day. Let's go ahead and switch gears. I want to talk about the World Cup, right? And I think we were going to touch on this, Dave, real quick. The Florida location for the World Cup 2026 is going to be Miami. It's going to be Hard Rock Stadium, the legendary home of the Dolphins, right? Personally, I have some info on maybe why they didn't choose Orlando. For what I was told, Orlando had all the logistics because of Disney and because it's a major tourist destination. They have the stronger economy than Miami for sure when it comes to infrastructure and the economy of each city. Orlando is, I think, more prepared than Miami when it comes to that. The problem was and this is what I was advised. It was the stadium. That's what I was told. What I was told was it was the stadium. Fortunately, Camping World, it's out in the open. If there's thunderstorms, if there is if there is a severe climate weather, it's completely out in the open. And from what I was told, Miami has a little bit of like a little roof, right? That only the middle, like a small side of the stadium is uncovered, and it's the bigger venue, right? And so what FIFA cares is seats. They care about seats. So how many people you can fill in a stadium? They honestly believe, and they even told, apparently, that's what I was advised. I'm not going to say my source, but that's what I was told, that they even told the organizers, build something at Camping World. and we may consider, because they knew Orlando is the city that's most prepared. They already did the MLS. Everything was gearing towards Orlando rather than Miami. But what ended up being the judge and the executioner was the stadium. That's what I was advised. I don't know, what are your thoughts, Dave, regarding the decision?
Well, it was a disappointing one because, like everybody knows, we hosted in 1994. The Citrus Bowl at that time was a hunk of trash. The for those that don't know the story of the Citrus Bowl, um, it has been a football stadium or American football stadium since the 1920s. And for those that of us that went to the stadium during the early years of Orlando City, you can see decade after decade how the stadium basically was being built, because each section that was added throughout its history, you could tell where the section of the 1970s and the 1950s and all that, and you could smell the bathrooms a mile away. I mean, it was a really bad venue. I believe we hosted simply because we were the only hosting nation that year. Orlando's hard to beat. We have the capacity for hotels and all that. This time around, I felt, wow, we are a true football city. We have Orlando City. We have the fans. We have high speed rail connecting us to Tampa and to Miami. We have three major airports serving our region, aside from the Tampa and Miami and Fort Lauderdale and West Palm. I mean, I just felt that we were a great candidate, but unfortunately, just like Luis said, what I have heard was NFL owners pushed their way around, and they were the guys that ended up with the lion's share. If you see, Tampa wasn't even considered because Raymond James has the same situation as
As
Citrus
Camping World.
Bowl. Yeah, it's just out in the open. And we all know you don't have to tell me when I was listening to you. It's 100%. It's a situation, a problem that we have right now. You know, this past weekend, we thought that we were gonna get rain, and the delays and everything. You gotta remember that the World Cup is played in our rainy season. So unfortunately, I like everything. I'm disappointed, and I know a lot of you guys are angry to see this great event go to Atlanta, go to Miami, but they are places with roofs, and they already have made the commitment of have hybrid pitches for the event. Personally, if I can find a winning solution in the whole thing, our state it's gonna be benefiting from the World Cup. We're gonna have people stay in Orlando. We're gonna have people come to Orlando through the high speed rail, through the turnpike, to come and spend money in our city. It's not gonna be the same, but there's that, and nobody's stopping you to go down to Miami and enjoy the festivities and all that. Uh, maybe as here in Orlando, we need to take these lessons, apply them to have a better venue, and perhaps in the future we need to lobby CONCACAF and here in nationally to have tournaments to come to town. I know the League Cup of Nations, the Caribbean Cup, those tournaments can be played in Orlando, because there's a lot of Caribbean nations that have communities here in Orlando, so it will be an attractive setting to perhaps have Exploria host. So with that said, it was unfortunate. I am just as disappointed as everybody else, but unfortunately, money talks, and like
Right.
Luis said, it's about the seats.
Yeah, it's um, it's disappointing, I'm sure, for a lot of fans. A lot of, because Orlando is a soccer city. I mean, what other team? I mean, look at the Magic, constant rebuild, like since inception. Shaq leaves, constant rebuild. Tracy McGrady, constant rebuild. Steve Francis, constant rebuild. You got Dwight Howard, constant rebuild. You get to a final, you lose, constant rebuild. The only thing Orlando has going on right now that we're able to feel proud of as Central Floridians is Orlando City. There's really nothing else. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm diminishing the other teams, but it's completely true. What are your thoughts about the bidding, Paola, of this news of the bidding of the World Cup?
I mean, I feel gutted, like David and you, Luis. Like we didn't have the opportunity to host. But again, we still have it in Miami, and we can just jump into a train and get there in less than an hour or in an hour. I don't know the estimated time right now, and we can still enjoy the festivities, the activities, and not even Miami. We can go to Atlanta too. It was gonna be an awesome opportunity to see it here in Orlando, to see, that kind of event, big event here. But lesson learned, probably they're gonna, I don't know if they're gonna build something for the Camping World Stadium, right? But I was looking forward for it, but now I have an excuse to go to Miami and see the FIFA World Cup over their games. So
Yeah, I mean it is unfortunate, but I mean the sunrail, like Dave said, is going to happen. And another thing, I have another thing that I was advised and I was told, and I want to tell everyone, and then we'll read your comments. Um, I was advised and told that a lot of the city leadership are already working to contact other national teams for the region. It could be CONCACAF, it could be CONMEBOL, it could be UEFA, and there's going to be a high influx of national teams training in Orlando. So be surprised that we may have Peru training in Orlando because maybe they are in Miami or Brazil or Italy or Netherlands, right? So also friendlies, like World Cup friendlies that are not going to be in Miami per se or in Mercedes Benz or in NRG Stadium. They're going to be in Orlando, right? To kind of heat up the World Cup, right? And what Dave said is correct. This whole Florida Cup concept that's happening, it's to showcase world class soccer in Orlando, right? And I think we need to keep doing that. But also, and this is just a word of advice, I know I am a nobody to say this, but I believe Camping World needs one last remodeling when it comes to make it FIFA standard, you know, um, you know, FIFA standard stadium, right? And the reason why is because, like Dave said, you know how bands pay for like they have venues that they could play stadiums, like say Kiss or Metallica. They sell out stadiums all the time, right? So Orlando can do that too, right? But with soccer. So for example, let's say Conmebol wants to do Copa Libertadores. They did the final one time in Spain because of COVID, right? They could do this in the United States, and Orlando, somebody from Orlando can go and talk to maybe the teams from that are in the final of Copa Libertadores and say, "Hey, let's play the final here in Orlando. We have everything for the teams here, all the infrastructure they need. The stadium is completely remodeled, is brand new, is great. Soccer specific pitch stadium." They're definitely not going to say no, because the United States is a safe country. You're right. It's a country that who wouldn't want to do that, as well as a CONCACAF Champions final, as well as friendlies for other national teams. Right. The whole point is just going and getting them and having the right stadium. That's just my opinion. Right. So I think it will give us 4 more years to work on our craft, and I know there's a lot of countries that are putting bids for the 2030 World Cup already. Like for example, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina want to do a World Cup. Also, Spain and Portugal want to do another World Cup together. So we're gonna see a lot of that. But it's disappointing. But at least if I mean, I'll be taking the Sunrail. I don't know about you, Dave, but I'll be taking the Sunrail for sure.
No, for sure, man. I mean, if the United States or any team that I fancy is gonna be playing near me, I definitely would like to go. It's a World Cup is it's the biggest party in our sport, and why not? And like Paola said, we have Atlanta nearby as well. It's not gonna deter me from going and participating in the events. Like we said, it would have been awesome to have it here. It took obviously 30 something years for the United States to get it back. Hopefully, it won't be that long next time around, and perhaps we'll be able to host. But unfortunately, we already know where we lack and what we needs to improve. And on the same topic, I think the one thing that I don't like about Exploria is our roof situation. It doesn't cover the seats, and I think this is something that the club is aware, because I had personally brought it up to them. Obviously, there's reasons why the roof situation is the way it is. I'm not gonna go into that right now, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's just be happy that our state is gonna be one of the hosting states. That our city is gonna be benefiting, and like Luis said, all these teams are gonna need a place to camp, and we obviously have proven with MLS's back that we can host a whole league. So what's a few teams, right? And that's
Correct.
also going to bring money into our community, and perhaps we can use the opportunity to host friendlies at Exploria. How wonderful would that be?
That's right. That's definitely right. And I want to go ahead and switch gears again and talk about Gaston Gonzalez, right? And I know Gabriel Amado. Want to say hello to her. He already has a nickname, Gigi, Gigi, Gaston Gonzalez, Gigi. So Gaston Gonzalez was at the Houston game, right? The game against Houston. He saw the team win, and I want to say something that it caught my attention. I saw him next to Rodrigo Schlegel, right, Orlando City player, and I also see him next to Sebastián Coates. Now you would say, who's Sebastián Coates? Sebastián Coates is a Uruguayan international center back from the national team of Uruguay that he plays in Sporting Lisboa, right, from Portugal. And he's actually not a bad center back. I don't know if he was just visiting, going to the parks, or he was visiting some maybe Facundo that he knows him for, you know. But he was right there. It caught my attention because I was like, what's Sebastian Coates doing there? I was at the press box. I was like, what is he doing there? So it makes you think, like, is he gonna sign, or is it a new signing? Like, what's going on, right? So obviously you can definitely dive in and speculate, but I think he was just there visiting, in my opinion. Um, what are your thoughts, Dave, on the arrival of Gigi Gaston Gonzalez?
Well, first of all, on record, I refuse to call that man by that nickname. To me, he's either Picoton or Tonga. Those are the nicknames he was known for at Union, and I like Tonga myself. It just I don't know, it just it has something to it, I guess. So, anyways, going back to Gaston Gonzalez, the guy is super excited to be here. So the interview, since I was at home, so the interview, the guy is super excited to be here. Um, he he looks like that the therapy that he got in Buenos Aires from our physiotherapist uh, did wonders. He's here. He gets to experience the team. He gets to experience his teammates, and gets to be acclimated. And before we started recording, I was telling Luis that um, a lot of people who have been tracking his recovery say, hey, this guy may be able to play at the end of the season or in the playoffs, because they are super surprised that this kid, as awful as this injury was, as devastating as it was, how he has basically made an incredible comeback. Personally, I like to say that is the hunger to succeed, because Gaston comes from a super humble family. This guy comes from poverty. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that. Humble family. That is a mailman. Mom is an office worker, and this guy has over his shoulders the hopes and the dreams of a family, just like we talked about with Facundo Torres. For all of us who are Hispanic, we know what it is. To be the first one going to college, or the first one getting a job. We all been there. And after all that time spent uh, following this player, talking to reporters and everything, I've got to know this young man, and I am super proud that he's here. And I one thing I can tell you guys: when it's time to lace up the boots, this guy is going to
Oh yeah,
be a
gotta go
legend in
off.
this club. This guy's going to be a legend in this club, because for this guy to just put all this energy and coming back from this terrible injury, um, well, all I have to say is, don't be surprised when I come online and I say, "See, I told you so." Gaston Gonzalez is not coming to sightsee. He's not coming to go to Disney. He's not coming to enjoy the Florida resident tickets. He's not doing that. He's coming to work. And that's the type of mentality that we're starting to see with Oscar Parejas, Orlando City, where players put their life on the line for the club. And to quote Benjamin Michel 2 years ago, I'm willing to die for this club. That's the type of mentality that we need. Players that want to give everything they have to the people that pay for their ticket every game day.
Paola, what are your thoughts about the arrival of Gaston Gonzalez in Orlando City? I think Paola put herself on mute. All right. Yeah, we'll continue here. I just
We can
wanna.
read some comments, Luis.
Yeah, sure. Let's read some comments. Says Colin Garvey says Facundo Pelestri is also in Orlando on vacation. Maybe a group of Uruguayans came together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Pelestri, he's such a great player, man. I mean, Pelestri is such a great player. Underrated in Spain. I'm gonna say he needs to leave Alaves. He needs to leave. Like that team is it's a horrible team to play. He needs to leave, find a better team. He can definitely do that. I would love to see him in like a big club like Barcelona, something like that for sure. Then you have Victor Rivera says Giant Stadium doesn't cover the seats either. True. Yeah, it's maybe because the size. Maybe it's a bigger stadium,
Yeah,
right?
but also they don't get the torrential rain that we have
Right.
down here, Victor.
Right.
So maybe that's why.
Colin Garvey, I don't envy the residents of Atlanta and Miami with that traffic. It's going to be crazy during the World Cup. No, I agree. I agree, but
Insanity.
yeah, but it's sad. I would have taken I would have taken the for sure the heat or the traffic if it would have been on I-4 or on 408. Like I would have done it all day long on the turnpike too. I would have loved that. Victor Rivera, they got the number one pick and will probably rebuild. Oh yeah, the Magic, yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, I mean, I heard they want to trade the number one pick. That's another story. Victor Rivera and the traffic in Miami. Wait for that. I love when you know what I love when I've been to downtown Miami and it's so bad the traffic over there. I usually park my car anywhere. Obviously, that's safe and then I just Uber myself within downtown. I just call. It's faster to have an Uber. I Uber myself. I leave my car in a parking lot, and then I Uber everywhere. And I love when the freaking like bridge lifts up, and then you're waiting like 30 minutes, and then till it goes down. Like I just think that's hilarious. It says Jim D. I think Nashville is a bad matchup for us. They set up too defensively and we can score. We will end up putting too many men forward and get caught on the counter. I'm not optimistic. Well, Jim, I have to be optimistic because I want Orlando to win a cup. I think we do have a team that can pull it off. It's just this. You got to have the mindset. They got to have the mindset, and the ones that they create, they need to put it in the net. They need to score them. If you don't do that, then we have a problem, and then that's when Nashville starts growing, right? Eric Sanchez, what happens if Orlando wins the U.S. Open Cup? A spot on the CONCACAF Champions League? Yep, that's right, sir. That's right. If Orlando wins the U.S. Open Cup, they get $300,000, and then they get a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League, which we will play teams like Comunicaciones, Motagua, eh, el hijo del Santo, no sé, I don't know what other teams we're
Those are
gonna
some
play.
cool names, man. I tell you what, I was
Saprissa.
no, I was watching this YouTube channel. It's called Suben y Bajan. It's about the second to fourth division of Argentinian football, and one of the teams was Agropecuario. I was like, what? That
Yeah,
sounds super cool. And then the other one, uh, what was it? I mean, it's just the names in Latin America
yeah.
are super cool, man.
Yeah.
There's Everett in
In
Bolivia,
Peru,
Everett.
in Peru, there's some that are crazy. Like there used to be a team called Pirata Fútbol Club. Pirata, and their emblem. They had to change it. They played a whole season in the second division with Jack Sparrow on their jersey. I'm not joking. You can check it out. Just put
I
Pirata,
believe you.
like
I believe you.
FC jersey. That jersey is worth like over $1,000 now because it has actually Jack Sparrow. And then when they went into the first division, the league, the Peruvian league, told them, no, you gotta change it because this is Disney property, dude. You
Yeah,
can't be
yeah, for
doing
sure,
that.
for sure.
You can't be doing that.
That's
They're gonna
crazy,
sue
man.
us. We're gonna
No,
lose.
no.
It's Disney, dude. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I think it says here. Okay, yeah, Facundo Perez is also in Orlando. Yeah, so I mean, good news about Gaston Gonzalez. Hopefully he's able to adapt and start playing with in purple. I love the fact that he was able to be presented in front of all the fans, and he was able to have some word. So I'm happy for that for sure. So you want to dive in, Dave, into what's coming next for Orlando? We got Cincinnati and Nashville. What are your expectations?
is Paola back or no? Paola,
Yeah, I
you
see
still there?
Paul is back.
I'm here, but I don't know. Can
Okay.
you hear guys? Hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. Just give us your comments about Gaston before I take over.
Oh no, no worries. Gaston, I'm super excited for him, and I saw him next to Schlegel, and for me that means a lot because you need another team member from Argentina that he can count on him, and he can start building relationship with the team. So when he comes and plays, he can feel 100% connected with the team. I'm super eager to see him in the pitch. I'm so glad he spoke to Gabby on the interview. It's just he's looking forward to play with Orlando, and that means a lot. So
Excellent, excellent. So I guess Dave wanted to talk about attendance. You want to talk about the
Yeah,
attendance?
yeah, absolutely. Real quick, you have to be a blind person not to see that our attendance issues continue, and this is league wide. It's not Orlando, okay? Um, I just have to say that I tune into, when I was talking to my friend Colin Jackson, who came from England, first time watching football here in the United States. By the way, he was very complimentary of the stadium, the game day experience, the quality of the team, and I take the opinion of people who live 40 minutes north of London, have the best football at their footsteps, and they come here and they're like, oh wow, this is a great atmosphere. If I lived in this city, I will come back. So that, to me, that speaks volumes. I'm very proud. Sad I wasn't able to be there with him, but so I turned on the TV to watch the game, and I see that the stadium is empty. And after I had built up everything, I was sort of sad that he got to see a stadium that wasn't to full capacity. I don't know what it is, friends, because we have a winning team. The club is making the attempts to correct the situation for all the season ticket holders, members, I should say. The club sent a survey this past week about the experiences. And, it's the opportunity that we have to let the club know what's going on. The club is giving out discounts for veterans, for students. It's making packages where you pay a very low, like $29-$30. You get to come to two games, etc., etc. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, and I have resignated myself to say, well, I started watching this team with 3,000 people. The people still there, obviously. The USL diehards are still there. The people that love this club are still there. And to me, we should concentrate on the people that are showing up and not the ones that are not there. And I know that it's deflating for a lot of us fans that that we want to share with everybody this great experience that is Orlando City. And then when we see the old videos at the Citrus Bowl with 45, 50,000 people on a regular game, and we're like, what happened to those people? Why are they not making it? And I understand the weather wasn't the best, but I mean, the game against Dallas was the same visual. And one of the reasons why this year we did not had as many national games is because for TV it does not look good. ESPN, Fox, Univision, they want to see packed stadiums. That's why LAFC, Austin, Atlanta to an extent, which, by the way, we were talking about this before we started recording. Atlanta has their attendance has gone down significantly. You see that they just the shots are straight on the pitch, not like they used to have these panoramic shots. That's gone. And I understand that the economy is hitting hard to a lot of folks. I'm not oblivious of that, but like I said, I wish well to Jared Dillon, who is I know is working on overdrive, trying to make an Orlando City game attractive and a destination. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it's something that people discuss on social media. People who have been here before, and don't live in the country, and they come on certain occasions. They have mentioned that to me. They're like, oh wow, and it seems like every time we come, there's less and less people. But my friends, it's a situation that I just don't know, Luis and Paul. I just don't know
I
what is the root for that.
I personally think it's cultural. Personally, it's just Luis Carlos Pinez's opinion. It's my opinion. I think it's cultural. I think Orlando is a city. I mean, that it's their history shows an L, right? I mean, let's just be completely honest. I mean, choking L's. It is true. Orlando Magic final in the NBA choked. Then they built Amway Arena. Dwight Howard leaves, right? Orlando Solar Bears. Unfortunately, they're not going to make it in the Stanley Cup or ever going to reach that level of NHL level. Unfortunately, And then Orlando Predators, the Seagulls sold the Orlando Predators for peace and carrot. So Orlando, honestly, the only thing looking forward is soccer. And now you could be fan of the result, and I mean, which I mean, when you love a club and you're a fan of a club, in my opinion, I mean, just seeing it in the perspective of a South American, you love the crest, what the crest stands for, right? The club, the what makes the club that particular club. Like look at Liverpool, look at Chelsea, look at Arsenal, look at Alianza Lima, look at Universitario, look at Comunicaciones, Aprisa, Águila, América de Mexico, Santos Laguna. You know, these are teams that not always win cups all the time, not back to back at least. But people are fan of the club, right? So I think we are growing. In my opinion, I think Orlando is growing, like their soccer culture, but we're still in diapers. We need to get rid of the diaper and learn how to potty, like a real kid, right? You know, and you know, it's just it's true. I mean, Orlando Explorer Stadium holds enough people. You know, like every single derby should have been packed, right? Whether you know, but unfortunately, you know, it doesn't happen. And I think it's just culture. You know, people are used to college football culture and American football culture, and analyzing the stats of the players and the percentage of how many touchdowns Tom Brady makes, how many yards Tyreek Hill runs, and blah blah blah. And you know, you cannot apply the same metrics to soccer. Soccer is about heart. It's about culture. It's about building something out of nothing. There's more than stats in soccer. You know, every person that is within lives and breathes soccer or football can tell you it's more than just stats. The stats sometimes don't even matter. What matters is either you win or lose. Now, yes, Orlando needs to win consistently. Yes, they need to give, but they cannot be Real Madrid. Like they're gonna give you a spectacle to be Real Madrid. They're gonna give you an spectacle to be FC Barcelona in 2010. They're gonna give you a spectacle to be Chelsea in 2012. They're gonna give you that spectacle. Yet, but Orlando needs to get there. And how do you expect that? By supporting, you know, just supporting on the good and the bad and the ugly, which I know, for example, a lot of Society 21 members do. A lot of Society 21 members do till this day, you know? And that's how you build a soccer culture. And I think, you know, like these people right here at the wall, right? I mean, they're always there. Now, I would love to see this amount of people for a Pride game and for OCB game. I mean, you know, definitely will love that. But again, you know, you gotta, you know, we're still, I think, in infant stages in on that matter on the culture of soccer. You know, we need to definitely not be fans so much of the result. We need to be fans of what what the club represents as a whole. That's just my opinion. I don't know what are your thoughts, Paola?
No, I totally agree. When and it's not, you know, saying shade for Orlando City, but 5 years ago when I started following the league and the team, we were not winning games, and I was there all the games in the wall because I started going in the wall, supporting the boys, and it's something cultural, like you say, Luis. I come from Puerto Rico, and David can say I come from the South, and we follow basketball in the South like by heart. And I come from that cultural place that we follow even if we lose or win. So I try to explain that to my friends. Like I don't care if they lose or they win. It's part of the culture of soccer, and we need to show them our support because they deserve our support. There is not only on the winning games.
I think we need to support them more, and not in the losing strike, right? Because we haven't had this year. We have more like we're battling in the ties right now, but we have to support them, the women's and the OCB as well, because that will be the fume for the OCB to try to develop themselves to go to the first team. So I agree with you, Luis. Is part of the culture, and I think we need to, us as fans, that we are there and day and night in the games, we need to start building ourselves around the friends. So
I mean, I was a season pass holder, and then to give the mic to Dave, I was a season pass holder on the whole USL era of Orlando City. I can definitely tell you, I am a Society 21 member. I don't know if my name's still there or not, but I mean, those were dark times. After USL, there were dark times for Orlando. I mean, Kaká came and everything; it was great, but we had Carlos Rivas, Adrian Winter. Like, I mean, it was tough times for Orlando City, and when I found out, and I tell you, this is a personal story. When I found out that there was a team, even if it was an amateur team, coming to the city of Orlando, it was a soccer team. Personally, I jumped to the roof because I'm a football fan, and when I heard that, my heart started beating faster, and I couldn't wait to see this team, even if it was in Sanford and at the UCF complex there. I didn't care. I was there because to me it was this is great. After seeing the Magic choke, after I don't want to. I work for Westgate Resorts at some point. I don't want the seagulls near me. Like I want great soccer. That's fantastic. Now, in my opinion, what can clubs like Orlando City do that could differentiate themselves? And this is just an idea. It's just my own humble idea. That would boost them at a lower cost, and prepare them for the league, so they can actually win more games back to back. Having tough competition in preseason. And what I'm saying is, do not play Chicago Fire, Columbus Crew, Philly on closed doors. No. Travel. Go to Bolivia. Go to Venezuela. Go to Peru. Go to Ecuador. You have players from those nationalities. Try to make contacts. Try to see if Orlando could play not bring teams to Exploria. I mean, you can if there are big teams, but that Orlando can go and play the champion of Ecuador, or Orlando can play the champion of Peru. And I understand that maybe they will lose, but they will get such a higher intensity team, right? That it'll prepare them for what's to come, when it comes to more competition. Facing bigger competition sometimes, in my opinion, makes you better. It will probably cost the club a little bit more than what I expected to spend in preseason. But I'm telling you, once Orlando City does their like giras, tours, do a tour in Costa Rica, do a tour in Mexico, do and play against teams, like it's going to boost. And especially if, let's say, Orlando City wins the US Open Cup and they got to prepare for Conca Champions, that's, in my opinion, the way you level, because you're going to be forced not only to get players that are going to complement your game, that are of a higher caliber, right? But you're going to be playing against tough competition from leagues that are always competing. Like Copa Libertadores, in my opinion, Copa Libertadores is the toughest competition for clubs in the world, in my opinion, personally. UEFA, it's all UEFA. It's in a different level. But I'm talking about Copa Libertadores. So you face that competition of Copa Libertadores. At some point in the 2000s, the Mexican teams used to play Copa Libertadores and Copa Sudamericana. Now they don't. But I think it'll be great to see Orlando do those tours and maybe go to Brazil, maybe go to Uruguay, play Peñarol on a friendly, and have Facundo Torres with both jerseys. Like, you see what I'm saying? There's a way you can market, make money, and also have your team play in a higher competition. That's just my opinion. Now, what are your thoughts, Dave? Sorry about that.
No, no, absolutely. I have nothing to add to that. You nailed it. Um, what one of the things that I miss is the contact with the community. We have moved away from the player signings after games where the players used to go to their cars, where we have eliminated that part of the game day experience. We have stopped taking players to the Publix and the Metro PCSs and stores and stuff like that that we used to do. We have to have people feel that the players are theirs again, like we used to. And this is something that I told Jared, that you have to make this fan base fall in love with the club again, and for the fans to feel that Orlando City is an extension of their pride as Central Floridians, as Orlando residents, Orange County residents. I think we have to do that. Like Paola said, growing up in Puerto Rico, uh, any team, I don't care if it was little league or basketball or football or volleyball, whatever was, because Puerto Ricans are very sectarian. There's 78 municipalities in Puerto Rico, and we all die for hours. That we yeah, I personally, if I ever moved back to Puerto Rico, I wouldn't even consider moving to anywhere else other than where I'm from. To me, that's it's a blasphemy to even think of
Hmm.
living in another town. So that's the type of the atmosphere that we need here in Orlando. We need to feel that connection to the club. We have said that before. So with that said, I just bring a friend. Next time, bring a friend. Try to get people motivated, and the most important thing, let's not like put in our heads. Go to the games. You love Orlando City. Go to the games. Eventually, somebody is going to see that you're having a good time. That
Right.
is gonna see your social media. Is gonna be like, I wanna do what this guy is doing. I'm gonna go with you next game. I mean, that's at the end of the day, people want to be seen in places where people are having fun.
Right, and we're gonna read some comments, and then I will say my piece on that too. Victor Rivera, the wall is looking bad these days. Well, I mean, uh, yes, I've seen it with way more people for sure. This is the a picture that I took at the Houston game, right? And yeah, again, in my opinion, it's it's cultural, right? Like for example, I went to UCF, and I'm not gonna say the year, but UCF now is like twice as bigger as when I left it, and nobody give a crap about UCF football. I'll be honest. Nobody give a crap. Like you will wear UCF stuff? It was like, look at you UCF stuff. Come on, bro. UCF, go Gators, FSU. Like like there was no. But then what happened? Because fans of the result, they started winning, right? And now everybody's like, Nitro, bro. My Nitro's my friend, bro. Nitro, right? So, we cannot. I mean, and that is football, and that's normal in football. I'm talking about soccer. Soccer is different. Soccer is like a complete different sport, in my opinion. And so I think we're doing well. It's just those are things that are just gonna, I think, the sense of ownership, right? In Orlando has always been known as, like you see Patriots fans, Packers fans, right? You see, you don't see like proudly somebody wearing a Magic jersey, right? Or but now you see Orlando shirts, Orlando City shirts. Now everyone's proud of Orlando City, right? And that's great. And we just gotta keep it going, right? And so I think you got the front office doing what they can, but I think fans of the result, right? And then that sense of, oh, I am paying these guys, and I expect Kyle Smith to be Valverde, and and I expect Facundo Torres to be Vini Jr., and I expect Carrot to be Lewandowski, right? and because I'm paying, god damn it, it's my I'm right. And but it's more than that. In my opinion, it's more than that. You're a fan of the club or what it stands for, knowing that's the best thing that has happened to Orlando since potato salad from Publix, since chicken tender sub from Publix. Orlando City has been the best thing that has happened to the city. Whether you like it or not, my comment, that is the truth. I've lived in Orlando all my life. Can definitely tell you that. So it's a sense of ownership, how much you like Orlando, really, right? And if you do, you love Orlando City. Mark Rodriguez, an official poll of my friends, results matter. The city has been let down by its professional teams too many times to invest their emotions on yet another team that would also break their hearts. Orlando's closer to the glory. We're fourth in the league. Uh, Quarterfinal U.S. Open Cup. The team is actually meshing. There are worse teams than Orlando in the league, right? Say hello to Miami, say hello to Chicago, right? There are worse teams than Orlando. I just think you cannot compare, and I'm going to say this with just very honest. You can compare the Brazilian Superliga or the Argentinian Superliga to MLS. You cannot compare the German league. If you watch the German league, you can't compare the level of the German league to the MLS. The MLS is growing year by year, giant steps, but they're not yet at the level of competition, right? It is the truth. It will get there. They have everything to get there, and they're getting there. Like right now, the MLS is not the dinosaur. It's not dinosaur world. They actually are getting exciting young players like Facundo Torres, like different other players like Darwin Quintero, to name a few. But they're growing. We cannot assess if your friends watch Premier League, they cannot expect the same results in the MLS. It's impossible. We're not yet at that level of play. Victor Rivera, Pride fans were there for the players. Now they're gone and the attendance is low. Besides the train wreck they're going through, that is also an issue with the men. Must follow the players, not the team, because it's the sense of American football. I mean, they've watched American football, and that's what you do. Like for example, a Russell Wilson jersey now at Fanatics is $40. Like, it's just the way it is, right? I mean, and now he's in the Broncos, and I mean, we're talking about other things, but that's the psychology behind it, right? I mean, you should always support Russell Wilson, what he did with the Seahawks, but people are gonna forget. And I say, no, he left.
At the end of the day,
Denver.
is the name in the front of the jersey, not the one in the back. And I know that we're going deep into the night, and many of you have to go to bed. But listen, at the end of the day, to put a nail in the coffin of this topic, at the end of the day, let's just come and support our club just because we love it. Let me tell you something. I love Orlando City because of what it has given me: entertainment, friends, including present company, friends out of this country. It has introduced me to two other clubs that I love with the same intensity as Orlando City because of fans of those clubs that also love Orlando City. Um, it's my happy place. It truly going to Exploria is truly my happy place, regardless of the score, regardless of the season. I have a great time, and if we can find 25,500 people who feel that way, then too bad, so sad for them, because going to support Orlando City is beyond that. Just like Dennis Bergkamp said in his famous quote, "You do not follow a club for a player, for the wins, for the trophies. You follow it because you love the club. You found a place that you can call your own." And that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Orlando City can lose every single game, cannot score a goal, can lose every season from here on till the second coming. And you know what? I will still represent my Lions. I will still cheer for them. I'll still go to the stadium. We have to find that type of dedication in 25,000 people in this town. And once we manage to do that, my friends, we're going to be okay.
Okay, one last comment here. It says, Lewis, Magic went to the finals twice and lost. There were ones good too. Oh yeah, I mean, I was there, 2009. I actually was there.
I was there too.
I'm a huge basketball fan. That's what a lot of people don't know. And I mean, I was so happy for Orlando Magic. I said, this is the first championship. I mean, we Orlando had everything to win it. And then when they didn't win, it was a circus of how it was handled, and that's just up to the organization. But what I'm saying is, after that defeat, or after the Magic, Orlando City came about, and it was a breath of fresh air. I remember those USL days. I'm sure Dave remembers that. I mean, even when they went to Disney, remember when they went to Disney? Like, it was great, man. You can buy the merch right there. They give you I have the ESPN cups still. I kept them all. The ESPN cups. I have, like, from all colors.
Wonderful years, man. Wonderful
Wonderful
years.
years.
And you know what? This is the thing, Luis. I don't like to keep bringing them up because it was a minor league team. I don't go around. Oh my God, you were not there when Sean Kelly won us a championship in 2011. I can't do that to people. The fact of the matter, they were great, but it was a minor league team with players nobody ever heard of, players that of third division
Gallardo,
quality. Let's be
man.
honest.
Gallardo plays his
Listen, Miguel Gallardo is my dude. My wife
my
has
dude.
pictures of the guys going to different events at Orlando Health back in the day. Listen, it was a great time.
Yeah.
But now that you brought Miguel Gallardo. Miguel Gallardo has said several times, and he has told me personally that we need to stop living in the past because the greatest moments of this club are going to play it out at Exploria. When Miguel told me that, when he has accepted that his brick is on the wall, his time is past, he's already telling me, hey, this is great that we did this, we did that. But the greatest moments of this club are yet to be lived in at Exploria. So to me, that's how we have to look at it. And I encourage everybody to be positive, support our Lions.
Yeah.
They're gonna be away from home this coming up weekend, but they're gonna be home for the Open Cup, which we'll discuss next week. So let's support the Lions, plain and simple.
Yeah, let's support the Lions, guys. Any last comments you guys want to give before we close the show today? Paola?
I hope that we win on Friday. I'm looking forward for that game because I know that the boys are hunger. Like David said, we need to. It's payback time. They won last game here at Exploria, which the goalkeeper won it, not the team. Was the goalkeeper. So we need to have that, hungerness to play on Friday. I'm just excited to see the boys. Let's see how they play, and looking forward for Nashville.
No,
I
absolutely.
want
And
to go
go
ahead.
ahead,
Go
Luis.
ahead, Dave. No, go
No,
ahead,
I
Dave.
was just gonna add on my final words. They tie one goal apiece at Philadelphia. Um, I think Orlando City needs to make a statement by excuse me, going over there and defeating them convincingly, so we can come home and put away Nashville, who has been a bogey team of
Yeah.
ours for a while. And I would like to remind everybody at Florida Man, Florida_man76 on Twitter. Please join me to talk about football in general. With that said, the legendary David on YouTube, my vlog where we talk all things Orlando City, and you can join me there as well. As always, it's a pleasure to spend every Monday night with gentleman and this lady, these friends of ours, talk about this club, and at the end we had a topic that was controversial. I just don't want you to leave. Let's leave.
Yeah,
I
in a
think
positive note. Sure.
motivated, positive.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everybody watching live. I'm sure that people are going to check us out on all our social media outlets. Check us out on Twitter at LPL Podcast. We're growing on Twitter. My content that I go and cover will be on this Twitter. On my own personal, I will post other stuff as well. So about Orlando City, Facebook, Loud and Proud Orlando, YouTube. Click on the notification bell for all notifications. We're 5 subscribers to get to 400. Let's hope and see if maybe we can get by the end. After you see this episode, just subscribe. Tell your other fellow Orlando City fans, hey, check them out. Subscribe. We're 5 away to get to 400. Our mark will be 500 by the end of the year, hopefully. So let's keep supporting us for sure. I also want to give thanks to George Odom. He actually covered for Gabriel on the pictures. I want you guys to check us out on Twitter at LPO_podcast and also on Instagram at LPO_podcast. All the pictures on the Houston game that were shown today were thanks to him. And thanks to Orlando City Communications for allowing it as well. And also, make sure to check them out on our Instagram account. I'll have more pictures coming up. And again, vamos Orlando, strong. We're going to hopefully beat Cincinnati and then go on the quarterfinals. And if we make out of the quarterfinals to go to the semifinals, we are 2 steps away for glory. And I think it'll be fantastic
Silverware.
to get some silverware for sure. And hopefully their attendance start improving, right? So thank you
Absolutely.
guys for everything. We'll see you guys next Monday. Have a wonderful day.
Vamos Orlando.
Vamos
Vamos.
Orlando.